We're back with our panel, Pat Buchanan, Eugene Robinson, and Rachel Maddow. Welcome back to all. Any reactions to the wins of Barack Obama in the Nebraska caucuses, Eugene?
No, it would have been a surprise had he not won the Nebraska caucuses. As you said, he does very well in caucus states, and he has offices everywhere. He has people everywhere. He is able to blanket the country, basically, with staff and with ads.
Because of money.
Because of money. He's got all the money you would ever hope to have to run a campaign.
I don't think it's just money. Look who Barack Obama does well with. He does well with the highly educated professoriate. He does well with liberals. He does well with African Americans. And what is the gut issue in the Democratic Party? It is the war. And he's got a position of clarity. I was against it from the beginning. And I think these are the people who come out to caucuses, just like those right-wingers in Kansas come out to the Republican caucuses, and their concerns immigration. I think that's why the smaller the vote there, the greater what intensity means. And I think he's got greater intensity among his per capita than Hillary Rodham Clinton does. Her big strengths, frankly, did you see today? Go ahead, Rachel.
I was just going to say, I don't see how the line on Barack Obama can continue to be that he's popular among liberals and African Americans, and that's the groups that are voting for him. I mean, the thing that's most notable about Barack Obama's wins this far is that he keeps winning red states. And in addition, the idea that he's only winning caucuses because turnout is low, Democrats are blowing out their turnout records in every state they go into. You can't say it's just a tiny number of people who are turning out, and that explains his wins.
But, Rachel, what about the argument that Hillary Clinton made in Washington State just the other day, and when she was endorsed by the nurses union, and she said because of caucus rules where you have to show up at an appointed time, if you're a nurse, you've got a shift that runs all day, and maybe you can't show up for that time when the caucus is, that disadvantages her base.
Hillary Clinton needs to come up with an argument for why she keeps losing caucuses, why she keeps losing procedures in which neighbors and friends and people who live in the same precincts get to talk to each other about their votes, because she does keep losing them. The idea that it's suppressed voter turnout because people have work conflicts is not a great argument for her, because Democratic turnout is off the charts in all of these states, in the caucus states, in the primary states, and all of them. Democratic turnout is enormous.
Rachel, let me respond to that. Look, where is Hillary doing very well? We saw today in the New York Times, among Catholics, she's winning 2-1. Now, Catholics and ethnics are Reagan Democrats. They're the group Nixon went after. They're the group Reagan got. They're in the center and on the moderate left. She's winning among white folks, especially in the South. Now, African Americans, where Barack Obama won something like 86%, they're not swing voters. The white voters, and in the South and places like that, they are swing voters. Hispanic voters, she's beating him 2-1. They are potential swing voters. They'll move somewhat. So these are the groups that Hillary's getting in the center and on the moderate left who McCain can reach. Now, no Republican I know, except since Richard Nixon got more than 10% of the African-American vote.
What about that, Gene?
But, Pat, let me just one point. Maybe...
Go ahead.
Let me just make one quick point. I'm sorry. And I know it's awkward because I'm not on set with you guys, and I wish I was. But the facts at hand here, are that Barack Obama just won the Nebraska caucuses with something like 69% of the vote. You can't write that off as a black vote or a tiny liberal vote.
The operative word is caucus. Look at the big primary states.
You know, amazingly, neither of you is wrong. But what Obama has been doing is bringing a lot of new voters into not just caucuses but primaries as well. He's bringing and creating excitement and political involvement where it did not before exist. That is really one of, I think, his great strengths of his as a candidate. Hillary Clinton, to a certain extent, has done that among some groups of women as well. I think he's done it to a greater extent. That explains some of the margin that we're seeing. But you are not wrong in positing that Barack Obama needs to start attracting some of the more blue-collar voters in some of the big states, in some of the kind of traditional, more ethnic enclaves.
If he's going to win a general election.
As Chuck said at the top of our show, he is going to have to start peeling away women from Senator Clinton in order to do better. That she's still, of course, there's a big gender gap in her favor, and we know that women make up the majority of the Democratic primary base.
He's doing fine among African-American women. It's the white women that she's got to start peeling away, quite frankly.
Right.
And the Hispanic women. And you can do this. Look at this ethnically, ideologically, in terms of intensity, liberal, conservative, all these things. And if you break it down that way, Obama's, if you will, running down the left lane of the Democratic Party and rolling, and she's going down sort of the center left lane, and they're even. But if you get to a general election, it's Hillary's voters who can move.
Well, but except that Obama has this.
In what kind of a world do Idaho and Nebraska represent the left lane? I just don't see it. There's no sense. There's no sense in which his victories paint him. There's no sense in which these victories paint him
in these
as
places too.
Listen, Pat. All right. Okay.
You're all a fabulous panel. We're all coming back. We're awaiting two big speeches tonight from Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. They're going to be speaking at the Jefferson Jackson dinner in Richmond, Virginia. We're going to have those live. And just to remind everybody, we do have a projected winner, and that is Barack Obama in the Nebraska caucuses.